Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video our aim is pretty simple. We want to give some functionality to these right, up and down moves, and let's just focus on the right move for now. We have already written the left move function, so what we'll do is we'll copy the left move function and we'll just modify the function itself to for the right move. There might be some people who might say that it's actually simpler and lesser code to rotate the board, then make a move, then just use the same move function. So instead of, let's just say if I have left move and if I instead want to make a right move, then I rotate the board by 180 degrees, do the left move and then rotate the board back to its correct position. So I rotate the entire board matrix. But I don't want to do that. That might be lesser code, but I just think that this was much more intuitive to me to write different functions for the left, right, up and down moves, and that's what we are going to do. So let's call this the right move, and the rest of it, the function it remains the same a lot. The only thing we need to change is, so for our left move, what we are doing is we are iterating from j equals 1. What that means is when we have this matrix right here, what we are doing is this is the first element that we are looking at. Instead, for the right move, what we should be doing is we should first look at this element, move it to this position right here, and then look at this element, move it here, then look at this element and move it here, followed by merging it with the 2 which has moved here. So what we change is, instead of j going from 1, we take j from 3 and we take j to greater than or equal to 0 and we set j minus minus. And similarly we'll have to change our k loop as well. So right now we have k equals j, that's where it starts from, which is correct. What I need to change is, instead of j greater than 0, I should k greater than 0, I should do k less than my board matrix length, which is 4. So k less than 4, and here I do k plus plus. And now we are done changing all of that. We'll also have to change all of my k minus 1s to k plus 1s. So I just changed them to k plus 1s. So this one becomes a k plus 1 as well, and this one becomes a k plus 1. This as well should become k plus 1 and k plus 1 here. So that should be it for the right move. This should work perfectly fine. Let's check it out. We'll also have to add the right move here. So on press is this dot right move, and let's check out our board now. So when I hit right, now as you can see there's something wrong here. I'm getting a 6, which I shouldn't get. So for some reason I know that a 2 is getting merged with a 4. So let's see what's going wrong. And as you can see, I haven't changed this to a plus. So once I do that, should work now. Let's hit the right. And as you can see, the right move is working pretty well. When I hit right again, I'm getting an 8 here and this 4 moved to the right. And let's just hit left and then right again. And as you can see, this is working pretty well. So let's also go ahead and add our up and down moves. So the up and down moves will require slightly more changes. So the first one at least will require slightly more changes. So I've copied my right move and I'll just make changes to my right move. So what we'll do is we'll first try to make this the up move. So for the up move, this will be similar to the left move actually. So let's take a look at our board matrix here. Let me just copy it from here so that it's easier to understand. So what's going to happen is what we want to do now is I should not keep track of what row I'm on. Instead, it should keep track of what column I'm on, and J will now keep track of our row. So this might be slightly counterintuitive, but this actually lets us make the least changes and get away with the up move. So let's change this to up move. So now what I do is I start J from 1 and I take J to less than 4, and as far as K is concerned, it should again be greater than 0 like we had in our left move. And instead of I comma j, wherever I have I comma j or I comma k, what I want to make it is I want it to be j comma I, because we flipped what the meaning of I and j is. And here as well, let's change this. I'll also have to change the k plus 1 to a k minus 1, because this is the up move where it's similar to the left move. We are moving towards 0. So we just change this to k minus 1 and I here. And similarly, I'm going to change all of the k plus 1s to k minus 1s and flip I and k plus 1, I and k actually. So if I have something like an I and k here, I'll do k and I. So that's what I'll change in all of these. Alright, so I've made the change, and let's now set our up button to this dot up move. So I have this dot up move now, and let's try out whether our up function is working fine. When I hit the up, as you can see, the 2 moved up and there's the random tile that came up here, and when I hit up again, I expect these two 4s to merge. So this is working pretty well. I can now also hit left and then up again and left again for my 8 and 8 to become 16. So this is working pretty well. And the last thing we need to do is we need the down move. So all I have to do is I copy the up move now, and I just change all of my I change the J loop. So I start J from 3 instead of 1, and I set J to be greater than or equal to 0, and my K loop will now run from J to less than 4, and this will be a plus plus. I shouldn't forget that. I should also change my J to minus minus, and I'll have to change all of my K minus 1s to K plus 1s, and that should fix my down move as well. So that's the last thing that we are going to do in this video. So once I've changed all of these, which is done now, I rename this to down move, and let's fix this to down move, and let's try out our down move. So let's hit down, and once again I'm getting an error, which is because I'm setting k to be less than 4. So what happens is when I have k equal to 3, k plus 1 becomes 4, and there is no board matrix of 4. So I should change this to 3, and now it should work. Let's go ahead and try it out. So when I hit down now, as you can see, the entire thing is coming to the bottom, and I can now hit down again. So these two 2's merge, and now let's say I hit something like right maybe, and then down again, and then right. So as you can see, I've got this 16 right here, and I can hit left and then down to get another 8. So the game is working pretty well at this point. We are mostly done with the basic game itself, and What we'll do is we'll add some more touches. We'll actually give some functionality to the new game button, and we could probably also add a win and lose condition. That's what we'll be doing in the subsequent videos. But at this point, we've already made a working 2048 game, so that's pretty great. And that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed this series so far, don't forget to give the video the thumbs up. Don't forget to share the series with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that red button down there, and I'll see you next time.